Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Aurelia Wynn. I go by Miss Wynn. I am the CEO and owner of hybrid publishing company Wynn Publications. And in today's video, we are going to talk about how you deal with multiple book writing projects as an author. So be sure that you stay tuned and watch until the end.
Miss Wynn checking in.
As an author and a publisher, I juggle multiple book writing projects all the time, whether I'm writing books for myself and my readers, or I'm publishing books for authors and their readers. One thing about it is I have to stay organized. Anytime I am finding myself overwhelmed with projects, chances are it is because there is clutter and there's chaos and I am scattered. So, what have I done to help me avoid getting to that point? I have created a solid system that helps me to not miss deadlines, that helps me to remember important ideas, as well as to feel completely relaxed. This way, I can slow down and make sure that I am checking every box and getting things done. Listen, I've been in the book publishing industry for 10 years now and working in my own book publishing company for the last 6 years. And so I totally get it. If I am not structured and if I do not have a system in place, things get lost. And so that's why I am coming to you today to tell you about the Self Publishers Project Planner that I created and is now available at Amazon as well as MissWin.com as well as WinPublications.com. This planner includes everything that you need to stay organized. In fact, let's get in it and talk about what exactly it is that you should have either written down for yourself, or let's talk about what is in the planner itself. So that way you can decide if this is something that you need. Now, as a multifaceted creator, having a system in place, whether it's this one or your own system that you create, is going to be crucial for you. Let me tell you what is in my planner, the things that I notate in order to stay organized. And so, it's actually really simple, but one of the things that us authors and us creatives like to do is overcomplicate things. And so, no worries. Here's what you're going to need to write down, type up, have organized per book. So, of course, you're going to want to write down the title of the book. After that, you're going to write down the name of the author for the book, whether it's your author name, your author pseudonym, or it's just your regular legal government name. You're going to still want to write that down. Then you're going to want to write down your goal. What is your goal for this particular book? Is it to increase sales? Is it to establish yourself as an authority in your category, in your industry of your choice, in the genre of your choice? Write down your goal. Then you're going to want to write down your starting date. When did you get started? Now, this starting date will end up coming in handy, especially if you're working on multiple projects, because chances are if you start working on another one and then several other ones, you can come back and see, oh, I started this project in January 2024, and here it is getting ready to be June. Maybe I should revisit that project Another thing that you're going to want to write down is your deadline. Give yourself a deadline, give yourself something to work towards, and commit to reaching that deadline. So that way you don't let time go by too far before you get back to that book idea. After you have those things written down, you are going to want to write down your process. The process that I have written down for myself is number one. I have a 6 step process, but there could definitely be more steps if you need it to. If you need to have more steps. So, step one is to write the book. Step two is to edit it. And then step three is to design the book. Step four, promote the book. Step five, any revisions for the book. And then step six, publish the book and release it. Next to the process, you are going to want to write down your timeline. You're going to want to keep track of dates. You're either going to want to keep track of dates or you're going to want to set a deadline. So, for number one, what is the deadline? When do you plan to finish writing the book? You're going to want to write that down. And then for editing, how long do you think it will take to edit your book? Sometimes it can take a month to 2 months, depending on yourself and your editor. So, you're going to want to write that down. For design, sometimes it can take a week to 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, depending on who your book designer is. So you're going to want to write that down. Keeping track of a timeline, giving yourself deadlines for each step in the process is going to help you keep moving forward, and it's going to help you stay motivated to see the book through the end. And if you're not writing deadlines, the other option is to keep track of the dates when things get finished. So that way you can accurately assess how long it took you to write the book. And that way you can either decide to improve on your speed or you can decide to keep the same pace. By documenting these things, it's going to help you to keep moving forward, especially if this is something that you see yourself doing long term. If you see yourself becoming a full time author, having these things written down is like the cherry on top for you. You'll be able to see your progress and notate how far you have come. After you get those details written down, you're going to want to include a sketch or screenshots of book covers that are in your genre. So then you can get a good idea and feel for how you might want your book cover to look. Doing this research is going to be so helpful for you in the long run, especially when it comes to designing your book and especially when it comes to having your cover design for your book as well. Then the next section should be your metadata. So, what is metadata? Metadata is just going to be the little small details about your book that might not necessarily be that important, but it actually is really important. So, if you're writing a series, you're going to want to include what number this is in your series. You're going to want to include the categories and genre that your book is a part of. Number three, you're going to want to include your ISBNs and have those written down. The next one, you're going to want to include your format, whether it's paperback, hardback, ebook. After that, you're going to want to include your publication status. Is it forthcoming? What are you doing? Is this on pause? The next thing you're going to want to include is the language. How many languages is this book going to be translated in? Is it just going to be English? Are you going to do French? Are you going to do Spanish? What are you going to do? Write that down. After that, you're going to want to include the trim size. What are the dimensions of your book? After that, you're going to want to write down the publication date, whether it be the date that you plan to publish it or the date that it actually gets published. That is what you want to write down. After that, you're going to want to write down the page count. How many pages is the final formatted book? Or you're going to want to write down how many pages is the book before it is formatted. After that, you're going to want to write down keywords. You're going to want to write down 10 to 15 keywords that describe your book, that describe the themes in the book as well. After that, you're going to want to write a brief description, not a synopsis or a blurb. You're just going to want to write a brief description for when someone says, "Hey, so you wrote a book. What is it about?" You should be able to give them 1 or 2 sentence answer without going on and on about your book. After that, I like to include my online and offline promotion checklist. And so that can be something that you include for yourself. What are some of the online and offline activities that you will do for your book, and make that something that's consistent across the board for all of your books? And so once you have that written down, you can begin to duplicate it and have that organized. What I've been using is Notion. Notion is a great app that also can be used in your browser. It can be downloaded for your desktop or your laptop. And they also have an app that you can use with your phone. And they all three will sync and keep you organized. So let's say you are on the go and you get more ideas for a new book, or you get an idea for the book that you're working on. While having it easily accessible like that is going to work out so well. If you don't want to download another app like Notion, you can even use Google Docs. Okay. And so having something like one of these tools is really going to help you. Otherwise, I do have a paperback book for those of you who are like me, who like to physically write things down. I also have a book that you can get that is now available to you. And in the book, I actually give you my checklist for online promotion and offline promotion as well. I will be making this available as a digital download. So make sure that you check out the description down below for more information about it. And that's all I had for today. I hope that you found this to be really helpful and really informational. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more tips on book writing and self publishing. Until next time, I will see you later. Thank you for watching. Bye.